Hey, Justin Beasley here, and I want to thank you for coming back. Thank you for coming back for part 2. Activating Your Life part 2. Now, if you haven't checked out Activating Your Life part 1, the first video, go back and do that. It's powerful, and you don't want to miss out on it. But I appreciate you coming back, and really we're going to jump right in. You know what I found so interesting is that no matter what background you come from, no matter where you are now, where you've been, what you're doing, that by making a few simple changes, you can begin to change every aspect and every area of your life. And I'm going to actually explain that to you. And I ran across this principle that I'm getting ready to share with you right now. And it said that if you can be trusted with what's in front of you, then you may rule over much. This actually comes from Danny Johnson. You know, she says if you can prosper where you're planted, start with what's in front of you, you may rule over much. Go back to a point in your life where there was a certain business that you had, or a certain project, or even for some of you who may be actually in college right now or in high school, think about maybe you played sports, or you were a part of this huge project in this club, or maybe something at your church, or even for some of you on your job, a specific thing that you had in front of you, and you gave it 100%. And from that point, so many great things came out of that. A lot of us can go back to that point in our life where we put 100% focus into something and we got results, and because of that, we were able to have a lot of success come out of it. Well, I run across this and I say, hey, look, let me give it a try. Let me see if this really works. I worked at a restaurant for a couple of years. I was actually a waiter. Let me tell you, I hated it. Hated it. And everyone knew. Everyone knew that I didn't like it. Everyone knew. So that same day of hearing this, actually going to work, have a smile on my face, I'm smiling at everyone. I walk in there like I own the place. I walk in there like I own the place, like I'm writing everyone's check. Every day, I went in and did that. And guess what? When I did that, I actually started to like working there. I started to like working there. I found something and a few things that I liked about the job that I focused on instead of all the negatives of it. Many times, a lot of people don't like their boss. And again, one thing that Danny Johnson said, she said, hey, look, if you hate your boss, guess what? He knows it. Not only does he know it, but let's take a look at this. If you are the boss, if you were the person writing the checks, would you promote someone that you knew didn't want to be there? Would you want to advance someone who hated the job and you? No. So if you hate your boss, he knows it. What began to happen for me is that everything around me began to change. I started enjoying it. Everyone at the place, even my co-workers, they started to enjoy me. And it was just, I go back and I take a look and I realized that was probably the best time that I had at that job. And I remember my cousin getting married. And after the actual wedding ceremony, we go to the reception and we went there, and I remember just hanging out, having a great time, not really focused on work or anything else that was going on. And I remember seeing a lot of pictures on the wall, and there was this one man in many of those pictures, and I'm thinking in my mind, he must be of some importance because he's in all these pictures. Well, I actually look to my left, and this man is sitting down in his chair. So I go over there where he was sitting, and I say, sir, I want to thank you for the great time that we're having here. This is a beautiful place. And we just kind of chat for a few minutes. And as I was leaving out, the restaurant manager walks up to me and she said, the owner was so impressed with you. He wanted to know if you're looking for a job because he wants to offer you one here. I accepted that job, and I started a few days later increasing my pay by 3 times, working less hours, and I was able to leave the place that I once hated. And even at that point, I took the same thing and applied it to that new job I was at, because my ultimate goal was to work for myself. Literally 60 days from that point, I was able to leave and work for myself. And because of that, I've been doing very well. So my whole point of sharing this story with you is that no matter where you are right now, maybe you don't like your job. Maybe you're having problems in your relationship. Maybe you're just tired of being broke or struggling and dealing with certain things that are going on in your life. You know what's so crazy is I begin to realize that when we are at our weakest moment, that's when God hears us the best. When we cry out and we pray and say, God, I need a change. I am desperate for you. I'm desperate for you to make something happen in my life. When that begins to happen, God begins to set up, oh my God, set up all these things for us when we least expect it, when things seems to be falling apart. God is actually putting all the pieces together. They're falling together. And maybe you're at that point of giving up, that point of throwing in a towel, letting go. Don't do that. Don't do that. Hold on, stick with it. Focus on what's in front of you. You know, a lot of times we start searching everywhere else and we get our focus off the one thing that's in front of us. Sometimes the blessing in front of us is the one that least look like it. We'll run behind shiny things and things that sparkle. But that blessing sometimes looks dull, it looks pale. No one wants to touch it. No one wants to really work on or focus on it. That thing that's in front of you that you've been putting off, that relationship that you've been trying to give up, if you flip that thing, instead of focusing on the negatives, focus on the positives. Watch in such a short period of time how things begin to change. For me, it took 2 weeks, 14 days of changing my attitude. I got a new job. 60 days later, I was able to fire my boss and work for myself. What can you do right now in your life? What thing can you prosper in that's in front of you? What thing can you focus your attention on when everything around you seems to be falling apart? Where you can put your time, you can put your energy, and you can plant that seed and watch as that seed begins to grow. Because a lot of times we forget that things begin to grow underneath the ground first before it begins to sprout out. And a lot of times people give up way too soon. They give up because they don't see the growth underneath the surface. They only look at what's on top. Why are you focusing just on what's on top? That the overflow for your life is here now. It's here now. Oh my God, the overflow in your life is here now. I even feel this. The overflow in your life is here now, and God's ready to do it for you. Not that He's going to do it. He's ready to do it for you now. I want you to be encouraged. I want you to focus on that thing that's in front of you. Focus on that thing and watch how your life begins to shift and change. And the thing that you really want to do, that dream that you really want to go after, how it begins to come right in your direction. I'm telling you, it doesn't take long for things to begin to happen. I'm telling you, I've been there. I've been there. I've been there when times were so hard that I felt by myself, where I felt like God wasn't listening to me, when I felt like I had no one to depend on. I've been there. Trust me, I know how it feels. But if you can focus on what's in front of you, oh my God, if you can focus on what you already have, focus where you are, everything around you will begin to shift. I know it, and I believe in you. And I want you to stay connected. I want you to stay committed to yourself. Stay committed to yourself, and these videos are going to be very powerful. God is doing incredible things, and the feedback that I've been getting from these videos really excites me. It excites me to put more of this out, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to continue doing this, and at the end of these videos, I'm going to activate your life prophetically. I'm going to do that. I'm going to release that to you. And I want you to click the link at the bottom of this video. It's going to give you more information about what I do. Subscribe to my page. Go ahead and comment. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on there all the time. This is what I do. This is my message. And I really want to see you begin to live the life and the dreams that God has for you. It's your time. This is your now. Justin Beasley. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.